So got it. Let me check on one more. Amanda, is everybody in that's already? I see 9 here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I'm 9. I was like, where's the other one at? Okay. Okay, I'll wait one more minute, see if anybody else wants to jump on. Does everybody have a pen and a pad?
Yes.
Okay, great. So first of all, thank you for this. Doesn't mean if you didn't say anything, you're getting in trouble. But those of you that actually submitted questions that you like answered, I appreciate that. I mean, that's what self-assessments are. There to let me know before I get on a call with you what's going on at that moment, so I know what to address. That's the beautiful thing about self-assessments. We do weekly. But if you're no longer on the weekly calls and you're doing the bi-weekly calls as part of the aftercare, that's kind of the self-assessment. So when you send me stuff in before our call each week, I get to address that. So you're still getting me to help you on some things that you're kind of curious about. So these are some pretty good ones here. And I'm gonna go ahead and dive into this stuff first, and then I'll spend 30 minutes on my actual lesson day. So I want to welcome someone new today. Is she still on here, Amanda? Oh, there you are. Right there.
Hi.
Oh, okay. So hallelujah. I want
Yes.
to welcome everybody. Welcome. Hallelujah. She's brand new with us. She hasn't even started yet. She just signed up yesterday. So actually her first experience is being here today. So everybody give her a thumbs up, wave, welcome her. Just a little bit about her. She's no different than the rest of you guys in regards to kind of going to groups and stuff, a little bit, intimidated, a little bit shy. And I told her this group everyone was on the same mission, and it was a safe place for everybody to be a part of because everybody's, working towards the same goal. So cool. So I want to start off answering some of these questions, and about 2 or 3 of them, it's kind of the same situation, but it's something that's kind of ongoing with everyone who has the struggle. And let me phrase this up. It's not just your struggle. Your struggle is losing weight and keeping it off. We know this. My struggle is anxiety. His struggle is alcohol. That one's drugs. Struggles all have a common denominator when it comes to those that are really wanting to do better. And they go like this. Doing my best to stick to the right foods, portions, despite the crazy schedule. Okay. Next one, what are some tools and tricks to get back on track mentally midweek when things, they start? I'm sorry. What are some tools and tricks to get back on track mentally midweek when the start wasn't great? Okay. This one here, staying positive when your week doesn't go planned. That's 3 different people. But can everybody kind of relate to that? Do you know why that is such a big deal with this? It's because your struggle, you're very sensitive to it. I'm sensitive to it. My anxiety, I'm kind of touchy about it. When I'm trying to move forward and get better with my anxiety, when things don't go my way, meaning not because I'm lazy, something happened, I couldn't do my meditation this morning, okay? That bothers me. If I can't do the things I do in the afternoon that I need to do for, and I'm like, man, this is crap. This whole week has been kind of off. And then we have our weeks when things go smoothly. When they're going smoothly, it's pretty cool. And we're like, okay, I'm feeling really accomplished here. It takes only 1 week of a few days. Just talk to, she's not on here today, but I just talked to Jerica yesterday about this same thing. She's rocking and rolling, and she had 1 bad 2 or 3 days and immediately defaulted to, I don't know why I'm even doing this. I just messed up. And isn't that how it goes? I'm going to throw in the towel now. It's because you're sensitive to your struggle. Nothing wrong with that. I'm trying to tell you why you react this way. If you watched any of my videos this week, I kind of touched on the subject a little bit. And so I'm going to touch on it again with you guys. Okay. we're easy to throw the towel in when we're trying to do better with our struggle when it doesn't go right. Even this one here, just, a few days, despite this crazy schedule, get back on track when the start wasn't great and it's only midweek. So that means on Monday, it wasn't so great. Tuesday, then Wednesday, she's like, how do I get back on track? And I understand the feeling. I'm not mocking it whatsoever. I'm like, it's very real. And then stay positive when your week doesn't go plan. Here's how it goes outside of your struggle. Always use kids and work. So I'll use kids. If you got kids, you had kids or whatever. I got 3 girls. We want to be amazing parents. We don't have a blueprint to these things, right? I call them things. We don't have blueprints, right? We do our best. We do our best, but we fail every once in a while miserably. You lose it one day, you're tired, you just snap, you say things, you yell, maybe you slam a door. It's different for everybody. But when you do this, what happens? You immediately go, I'm a horrible parent. I can't believe I just said that. You feel guilty, whatever. You may go off your bedroom for a minute, but what do? Once you kind of go through that, you go right back out there and you try to make it right by moving forward and do better. Like, hey, I'm sorry. I lost my cool. I haven't had any sleep. And you move forward. Can everybody give me a thumbs up? Y'all hear me here? Okay. You don't call DHS or the adoption agency to come pick up your kids and say, I'm done. I'm out. I'm not being a parent anymore. Bye. Or do you? Look at everybody. That's just the stupidest thing in the world to even entertain that I'm just going to walk out on my kids because I had a bad day or a bad few days or whatever, right? You go back in, what do? I'm going to do better at trying not to lose my temper in this situation or whatever it is. It can be all kinds of scenarios. Let's talk about work. If you work for somebody or you have worked for somebody at some point in time, boss comes up like, hey, Sherelle, that's not how we do things around here. I mean, I need you to correct that. And that's just not acceptable. They may be even worse than that. What do? You feel like crap. You feel like, what the hell, man, I just screwed up. Way to go. Never going to get a promotion here. But do you walk out and quit your job? No. You're like, okay, I need to do better at this and pay more attention and make this better. And you move on. Because why? We don't quit our job. We need to pay bills. We got to feed those kids. Stuff like that. You don't walk out on your kids. Why do you immediately want to walk out on yourself? Why is it if you have a few bad days? I'm not mocking you. I'm trying to tell you we are hypersensitive to that situation because it's our struggle. So we're fast to walk out on it. But I don't understand why we want to do that. And I'm the same way. But when it comes to that, you're like, I messed it up. Bad week. Things fell apart. Everything fell apart. And all the work I've done has come unraveled, which is not the truth. Did all the work in you being a good parent come unraveled in that kid's mind? No. Do they remember that one thing? Doubt it. They see all the good things you've done and not all the one-offs that you had a bad day. Work. You've been there 15 years. You've had some off days throughout your career. Overall, your boss, I'm a boss. I have 27 employees. I look at overall, hey, they're doing all right. They've got some things here. They had some hiccups I've had to bring to their attention, but overall, yeah. You need to start looking at this the same way. This is not going to end. The whole struggle is not going to end. Your whole process of continuing to get better is not going to end. It's not a 6-week challenge. It's not an 8-week program. It's not a 10-week program. Even though y'all been through my 10 weeks and some are still going through it, it's not a program. And if you've been in long enough now, you're realizing, okay, it's 10 weeks to get you turned around and seeing this from a different perspective so you can continue to move forward. And I know some of you no longer on the 10 weeks, you're in aftercare and you're with me for a while now, some of you over a year, but I'm saying, you see now, this doesn't end. You're going to have weeks where everything's firing and we're doing okay. And then something happens. And I know this is hard. I just want you to write down something that makes you think about it. Like, why do I give up on myself so easily when it's not going smooth? And here's the deal. There's nothing that fell apart. You're still where you are. You're way down the road further than you were when you started. Hallelujah is already one step further than she was last week, just by us talking, but her in this call. You can't take that away. You can't judge it all by if you didn't get to the meals, if you had a piece of pizza and you didn't want the pizza and didn't get to a workout. That's why we talk weekly, and that's why we do self-assessments, and we're constantly moving forward. You've got to start looking at, I am making progress by being here on a Saturday. You're here on a Saturday at 8 a.m. Self-care, self-love. You're not here because you need somebody to discipline you and tell you to stay on track and be strong and, get your confidence and willpower. You're here doing self-discovery. You're learning little by little each week because you show up. When you show up on these calls and you show up and do the things on the homework and stuff like that, and constantly show up and conscious about wanting to get to my meals. The one thing I'll tell you about going back to Jerica yesterday, she said, I did not get to my meals and business work threw her off, but she was conscious. She said, man, I knew this was when I could need to be eating, drinking my shake, but I was in the meeting. You know what I told her? That is a home run that she was conscious enough in a meeting that she wanted to go have her shake. That's a win, ladies. You got to understand. Before we met, she would have been sitting there like, yeah, I can't get to food right now, so she'll go all day without eating and eat when she can, right? You got to like, you're mindlessly just whatever, I'll eat when I can. She actually was a little upset because she couldn't get to her meals. That is progress. You are aware of, I want those meals, because she's recognizing how good she feels. She's been 4 weeks, 5 weeks here. She's like, I can just feel better about doing the right thing for myself. And yeah, I'm getting my body, my energy, things are moving forward. So we want to start looking at, you know what? I don't like these days that we call bad days. I don't like it that what's a tool or a trick, here to get back on track mentally midweek when the start wasn't great. I don't have a trick. I have you to say, I don't like this, but what's next? So there's my answer to you. This is what I told Jerica. I'm using her for the example. Jerica says, hey, yeah, I didn't get to a meal. Texting me, by the way. Hey, get to a meal. It's 2 p.m. or it's 1 p.m. I didn't get to any of my meals. What do I do? I go, what's next? She goes, what do you mean? I go, what's your next meal? My shake's at 2. Do your shake. Then what? Do your dinner. Then what? Go to bed on time, on your pillow. What time we agreed about? All I'm saying here is this. Go to what's next. That's in your control. This is usually out of your control. You want to do better. But when it's out of your control, you don't recognize it's out of your control. All you see is, I've had a bad 3-4 days because my work threw me a curveball. My kid got sick. I had to go do this, all that stuff. Listen, that was out of your control. But I don't want you to go like, oh, well, it's out of my control. So yeah, poor me. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, yeah, I don't like that. It happened, but it's life and it's always unraveling. I tell clients all the time, life has always been unraveling on you, good or bad. You're just now more sensitive to it because you're like, I want to do better for myself. I want to be healthier. I want to feel better. I want to look better. And now all this stuff, all of a sudden you see it and you think it's coming at you to sabotage you. And you will quickly bypass clients, 3 decades of coaching women, will point to, yeah, my husband's bringing pizza home now while I'm trying to lose weight. You know what I say? Did you just start that when you started this? Well, no, he's been doing it since we've been married. Oh, and you just now recognize it? Because now it bothers you because you now are trying to do better. That all of a sudden became like, you see it, but the guy's been doing it for 8 years. You with me here? Life's always unraveling. It's just now you are so conditioned to doing programs. I've got 6 weeks to lose 20 pounds. And now that's in my face. Time's ticking. This is not a get ready, get set, go program. It's not a program. It's a, hey, it's time for me to start learning from the inside out. That's the only way this truly takes hold, is when you start turning it around, that I've got to learn in here what works for me, start understanding that things are going to happen. And when they do, what's next? My next meal, When's my workout? She goes, I didn't get my workout in today. What about that? Don't you work out at 5:30 in the morning tomorrow? Yep. Tomorrow morning, go do your workout. Then I got people who say, I missed 2 workouts and I missed 3 meals. Should I put all 3 of my meals together and eat them all? 2 o'clock's my shake. Should I have my shake, my lunch, and my breakfast? No, that doesn't work either. That's going to make you sick. Should I do 3 workouts in one day? I missed 3 workouts. Should I do 3 workouts in one day? No. But see, that's the human way of let's play catch up. It's not necessary with this. That does nothing but mess you up. That'll mess you up. Just that's too much. Just say what's next and go. And then go and go and go. And then when something else comes in, pushes you back for a minute, do whatever, then say, okay, that already happened. What's next? Stay on your schedule. Your pillars are there for a reason. They're to set times in place. Will you always get to them? Absolutely not. But you have a map and a plan to go, what's next now that I couldn't do that? Go here. Obviously, grocery shopping, I get it. You're going to say, well, if I grocery shop at 10 a.m. on Saturday and I can't do it, do I just like wait till next Saturday? That's not what I'm saying. You got to go grocery shopping. My point is move forward and understand it's part of the struggle. No one's going to step back and let you walk through gracefully and say, hey, let's leave Sherelle alone here. She's trying to lose weight, and don't interrupt her life right now until she gets this all down. That's not even real, which is going to be part of my lesson today, by the way. So is this helping everybody? Does it make sense? You don't give up on your kids. You don't give up on your job. You can point to your spouse or whatever you want to. It doesn't go smooth there, but you don't throw the towel in and say, yeah, I'm done. And I can't do this. I suck. I'm out. Don't do that with yourself. Just go, okay, I don't like it. You can acknowledge that, say I don't like it, but move to what's next and just keep moving forward. Nothing is unraveling. Here's why you're like this. And I get it. You've been doing programs that if you were doing low carb or zero carb or weird 6 workouts, and if you didn't do 6 workouts, when I surveyed 30,000 women and I said, what is the percentage you must do a program, weight loss program, to be successful? 95% to 98% was the number 1 answer. No one went below 95%. Do you know how stressful that sounds that you have to do 95% all the time or you will fail? And guess what? It is correct. Think about it. If you do 0 carb and then you have a day when you just freaking like screw it and you have a donut, what do? You gain 10 pounds because you're carb sensitive. It was set up to make you fail. So you come back and do it again. You guys, girls, women are not carb sensitive. I have carbs in your meals. Most of you start off going, this is a lot of carbs. Then you start losing some weight. Then you lose some more weight. And you're like, oh, this is kind of cool. I got energy and carbs and getting to eat a meal every 10 days I want. And like, okay, life's good here. You can go, I'm not telling you to do this. I'm saying you could go have a donut or 2 because you just decided you want one. And yeah, you won't gain any weight. It's like, you're not carb sensitive. Your body's like, yeah, some carbs. But when you've got this low carb dumb crap going on and keto, all that other stuff out there, all you got to do is mess up one time and you're done. And that's why you're quick to throw in the towel, because then you gain 5 pounds. You look at that, you say, that blew it. That's not realistically how you lose weight, by the way. So, okay. Hope that helps. Scale situation. I get asked this a lot. Now, I usually talk to you at some point, but let's actually do this today where you actually write it down. So I'm going to tell you, here's what Macy says. And Macy's on the phone right now. I would like the scale situation explained. Why am I losing inches like crazy, but it took weeks for me to lose weight on the scale? FYI, as of this week, I'm down 4 pounds. All of it within the last week. So I've had this conversation with Macy, and I'm going to frame it up with you first of all. She's losing inches. She's losing clothes sizes, getting smaller, all that. But she's still hung up on, why isn't that scale moving down? Let me give you something here that should be kind of comical. I promise you, I don't know anybody that I go out in public and I look over and I see Sandra and I'm like, don't know Sandra. I'm look over, I'm like, go up and like, hey, Sandra, I don't know you, but what do you weigh? Before I decide if you look good or not. What do you weigh? One, oh, wait, 200. Oh, yeah, you're fat. No, never mind. What do you weigh? 165. Oh, yeah. Okay, that number. Yeah, you look good. You look good. Who does that? Nobody. You are in public. You look at somebody and you say, wow, I haven't seen them in a while. They look like they've lost some weight. Am I correct? Or you walk up to your friend and go, hey, Sandra, we're good friends. I haven't seen you in a while. Before I give you make a judgment on you here, what do you weigh? 200. Oh, okay, never mind. You're still fat. Hey, Sandra, we've been friends a long time. What do you weigh? 165. You look amazing. Are you hearing me here? No one looks at you that knows you and says, what do you weigh before they say, wow, you look like you leaned out. Here's my point. I don't give a crap if I weigh 350 pounds. If I look good, I don't give a shit. That's me. You have to look at this and really, you're going to have to really lean into it and understand that you're this way because the weight loss industry has amazingly indoctrinated you into saying your success is based on if you lose X amount of pounds. Then you can say, I'm doing good. You do realize that's an indoctrination like a religion. And don't get me wrong, they've been amazing at doing it to females for decades. I'm telling you the truth here, which is it's not sexy, it's not fun, but it's real. You're losing inches because you're losing fat because I've got your protein dialed in. Every one of you on here, I make your eating plans individual. You know this. I calculate the protein is exactly right for Sandra, Cindy, Sherelle. All of them are different. I've got your carbs adjusted, all based on you, your weight, everything I know about you. So you're not going to do what the typical weight loss plan does. Look at here. Every weight loss plan out there that's low carb, keto, whatever it is, 3 things. It's called a trifecta. You lose weight by the trifecta. You lose water because your carbs are low. You lose fat a little bit, and you lose a shitload of muscle. Okay? That's why the scale goes. And I want you to write this down. Write this down. One carbohydrate holds 2.2 grams of water. 1 gram of carbs holds 2.2 grams of water. It holds double its size in weight. Let that sink in. Here's the illustration you may want to draw. Look here. This is a carb, 1 carb. Look here, 1 carb, 2.2 water molecules attached to it. Water weight, right? Draw you a stick figure. Draw a stick and say 1 carb, then attach 2 sticks and say 2.2 grams of water. That's how, by the way, that's where your weight is on the scale most of the time with these programs. Okay, so now we got all these carbs. We go to this new weight loss program. I'm not carbs everywhere, donuts, I'm carbs. They know they can manipulate you and make you think their program works, and you'll go tell people and they'll sell by saying, hey, let's cut out the carbs. Let's go keto. Now, you had 1 carb. It held 2.2 grams of water. Once you take away all the carbs, all this water drops off of you. You pee, you drink water, you pee, you don't ever hold any water anymore. Look at the scale went down. I'm amazing. I'm kicking ass on this program. And by the way, your protein's not even considered. They don't really care that it's dialed in. So you're doing 5 days a week to make sure their program works, or 6 days a week to make sure the program works. Now you're using muscle for fuel because why? You got rid of the carbs. Your number 1 fuel source is carbohydrates. Your number 2 fuel source is fat. When they take away the carbs, all the water drops off. Yes, you burn some fat. It's not enough though. When there's no carbs to fuel you through 6 days of working out like an insane person, it has to go find an amino acid profile. And guess where it finds that? In your muscle tissue. In your muscle tissue. It burns off muscle. And by the way, this morning, I was training a group this morning in my team training. The wife said to the husband, he burns more calories than I do. And they worked out the same workout. I straight him up on that board. I said, yes, he's a man. He has muscle. He was born that way. His testosterone. Men are not gifted. They don't have magical powers. They have muscle and they retain it. Women don't have a lot of muscle to begin with, but you lose it when you go on these freaking diets or non-eating or eating one day a week, or I'm just going to starve myself. Your body says this, good for you, Sandra, but I will find the energy I need and I'm going to take it from your muscle. It actually can break down your muscle tissue and turn it into an amino acid profile and then convert it into a carb to give the body the carbohydrate and energy it needs. Your body is ingenious at keeping you alive, but it will sacrifice you at the expense of keeping you alive. It will cannibalize you. This is science. This is what I've studied all my life. It will cannibalize you if you do not have your protein content up. Some people look at my eating plan and say, there's not like tons of calories here, but man, I'm full all the time. It's because I got your protein up, not jacked. I've got it right where it needs to be. I've got you plenty of carbs. You're in a small calorie deficit. So your body burns carbohydrates, but not at enough that it doesn't need more fuel. So it drops down to fuel source number 2 is fat. Macy, that's why you are losing inches like crazy, her words, and you're not dropping a lot of weight because there's only one thing happening here, fat loss. You got plenty of water in your body because you've got plenty of carbs. Your protein's jacked. You're not going to burn any muscle. And I've got you working out at a sustainable schedule of 3 days a week. So you're not burning any muscle. Your body's doing one thing. It's losing fat. It's a slower process. It's not sexy. It's not exciting. But I want you to embrace the science here of how you are losing fat. And guess what? Now let's go to lesson number 2. Everyone write down 3,500 calories. Write down 3,500 calories. You have to burn, you can write this down, you have to burn an additional 3,500 calories on top of the calories you need daily to lose 1 pound on the scale. That's horrific to someone who is a scale freak. That's suicide mission there. Oh my God. You have to burn 3,500 additional calories on top of what you need daily to lose 1 pound of fat on the, to lose 1 pound on the scale. Thus, Macy is only seeing about a 4 pound loss because she has burned fat and she's not lost muscle. And all of a sudden, she got to the 3,500 all of a sudden, and it went down. So let me give you my analogy here. You need to write these notes down so you can go back and understand how you lose it my way, which my way is not weird. It's the real way you want to lose it. That's why I can claim to every one of you, you're never going to put the weight back on. You're losing fat, muscle, keeping it, growing it a little bit, plenty of carbs. There's nothing to fall apart. And it's about you, self-discovery. What do I like to eat? When do I want to eat? When do I grocery shop? I don't tell you. You create, and it's about you. And it's like I think it might have been Leanne that said, kind of feel like something's getting ready to fall apart, but there's nothing to fall apart. There's not, because she built it around her over time. Been with me for a while. So here's how it works. Let's just say, for easy math, you need 2,000 calories a day is on your menu. So I'm making this up, by the way. So let's say 2,000 calories a day is what you're going to eat on your food. So 2,000 calories. So you go work out and you do your daily thing. And let's say you burn the 2,000 calories off, which you have to. And then you burn an additional 200 calories on top of that. So everybody write down this. I want you to write down 2,000 calories a day just to survive, whatever you want to write. Over on a separate area, I want you to write the word weight loss bank, like a bank account. I made that up. Weight loss bank. Make the title, weight loss bank. Underneath the word weight loss bank, write 3,500 calories. That's the title of that section. Weight loss bank. Under it, put 3,500 calories needed. Here, let's make this better. I'm making this up as I go. Weight loss bank, 3,500 calories needed. Weight loss bank, like a bank account, 3,500 calories needed. So let's change that and look at it like this. Hey, 16-year-old kid. Yeah, daddy, I want a car. Okay, well, here's what's going to happen here. This is called the car bank account. Getting me a used car bank account. $3,500 needed. She goes, all right, daddy, what do you do? Go get a job at the pizza place. Okay. She gets a paycheck, $200. Put it in your bank account. She deposits $200 in there. So now she's minus $200 off the 35. Now she's at what, 3,300 needed to buy that car? This is how it works with your weight loss on the scale. So let me put it, now we got this going. Let's go this way. 2,000 calories needed for daily, functioning. I burn my 2,000 calories off, and then I burn an additional 200 calories. The 200 extra calories that day, you can put it over into the bank account. Go ahead and put that over there. So you got 3,500 calories needed for 1 pound on the scale. I did 200 extra today. Tomorrow, you burn 2,000 calories. Maybe you mowed the grass and you did a workout. You burned 500 extra calories. So you went 2,500 calories. So that extra 500 goes in the bank account. Now you have 700 calories. Then let's say there's a day you just don't do much and it's an off day and you only burn 2,000 calories. That'd be 0. Next day, maybe you went over 100. There's 100. It's different every day. There's no real way to calculate that as much as you think there's a way or you want to know a way. I promise you there's not. It's just based on what you did. Some days you do more than others. Some days you work out. Some days you don't. Here's my point. The reason it's not consistent and you try to make it consistent is because 100 here, 500 there, nothing there, 200 there. Once it adds up to 3,500, everyone starts cheerleading and bells and whistles and lights in Vegas go on. Hey, yeah. And 1 pound on the scale moves. That's a lot of damn work for 1 pound. But guess what? It's a pound that's never coming back because it's the only way to truly lose a pound of fat that shows up on the scale. I know it's not exciting. Well, I lost 20 pounds on your challenge. Yes, you did. And you went 5 low carb days and we did a lot of other stuff. Nothing wrong with that. I say it like this. I've got people that, use Monjaro. I'm like, I don't have a problem with that. If it motivated you to get here with me today to move you slowly into another round, I don't care if you did the 6-week challenge and lost the weight. It's the same thing. I got you here. Now let me move you into a space now that you're motivated where it's going to stay off, maybe put a little bit on it first, stay off and move forward. Have I made myself clear to everybody how you lose a pound on the scale? Does it make sense? I hope you wrote this down so you can go back and look at it. Does it make sense that 1 carb holds 2.2 molecules of water? Can you see how 50 grams of carbs times 2.2? That's some water weight. And guess what? Your body needs about 80% water. That's what you're made of. You got to have it. People who do low carbs and keto, they walk up like this. Oh, man, I lost 60 pounds. I said, yeah, you look amazing. Are we like having a funeral later? Because you look like shit. I tell them, they should not come at me with that. They know me. Great. You lost that weight. You look unhealthy. You got crap flapping around. Your jaws are hanging off. But see how it is? But I lost 60 pounds, Travis. Be happy for me. No, not want to be. That's not going to end well. You guys are healthy, man. You're doing this good stuff here. You're feeding your body good food and exercising moderate. You're making a life of happiness here with self-care and self-love and something that has meaning to it that's going to last. So everybody cool on how you live? Macy, does that help you out? You unmute, tell me yes, no.
Yes, Travis, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Sandra, the reason that, so Sandra has been, Sandra, you cool with me reading this? Okay. Sandra says, I've been pondering over this for a couple of days. I crave education. Monday, my pain management doctor informed me that I have taken 156 pounds of pressure off my joints since February 3rd. Wow. The 39 pounds of fat loss down to 189 is equivalent to 156 pounds of pressure. I had no idea that every 1 pound of fat puts 4 pounds of pressure. Correct. I love this guy, whoever it is. I don't get too many doctors that are accurate. That's accurate. But let me explain why. Let's talk about your knees. I've got overweight people that go to a doctor who then talks to the doctor, sends me like, I've got knee problems. I've had them all my life. I say, did you have an ACL tear? Anything? No. Do you have arthritis? No, not really. They hurt. Yeah. Okay. It's because you're overweight. And your legs are not conditioned. Legs are big for a reason. They are meant to be in shape. I don't like that word, but it's called what it is. They're meant to be strengthened so they can carry all this upper body stuff. You got to understand, your knees are joints. They're little bitty. They're not designed to hold body weight up here with gravity pushing down on them, and your legs are out of shape. When your legs aren't worked, they're not conditioned, and you're walking around, your knees are like, holy crap, no one's helping us. Hey, thighs, get your ass in shape. You're not even helping us, man. You're supposed to be helping take some of this load off. Y'all like my comical analogies here? But it's true. Your knees are like, good night. Can someone give me a break? So, Chandra, it's not just, it's hard. There's a formula he uses, and I know what it is, and I love it. Overall, it equates to what he said. The 4 is the right number because you got gravity you factor in, you got your upper body, and then you got the fact that your thighs are not in any kind of condition to even help out. Make sense? So it's a very technical formula, but it's very accurate. But here's the good news. Simple solve. You're working out. It's like Annette. I've got Annette doing an exercise where I'm like, look, I want you to walk and I want you to work your legs. And she's doing hiking and everything else. The legs getting in shape makes life a lot easier in all kinds of ways. A, your joints quit hurting as bad. They may still hurt because we're old, me anyway. But, man, this is so much better. My legs are better. And when you drop some weight, all of a sudden, the pressure lightens up. So you've got leg strength, losing weight, all that stuff becomes a factor in lessening the pressure on those freaking joints. And that goes with hips and everything else and back. People with lower back, men with big bellies. You ever notice how they walk like this? Next time you're out, look at a man that's got a big belly. Look at his belt. It doesn't go like this. It goes like this at an angle because he is like this. That lower back, it's just a matter of time before that goes out. He's on pain medication, surgery, you name it. It will, he's walking, carrying that belly because men, that's where they carry it, just killing that lower back. Look at their belt line. It goes like this. A belt line should be like this, should be horizontal, but it tilted. The posture's back. Professionally speaking, my sister, women with big breasts, they do the same thing. They lean when they walk. It's just natural to do it because here's why though. There's no core strengthening there, no weight loss needed, which what happens when you lose weight? These shrink down. Getting your core, everything by exercising, everything starts to become upright. But society has gotten so in a point of being sedentary. We sat behind desks more than ever. Used to, this kind of meeting was in person. Now what are we doing? We're sitting and we're looking on a screen. I love it. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying we do this now more than ever. That's why I just blows my mind. All these companies out there right now, these multi-level marketing companies telling you don't need to exercise, just eat this, eat our special foods. And people buy that shit. I'm like, are you really believing, or do you just want to ignore it because you don't like it, that you don't have to exercise at some extent? Your body's designed to move. It's how you bend over and tie your shoes. It's how you pick up your groceries. It's how you pick up your grandkids. All that stuff that nobody thinks about is like requires you to be in some kind of a conditioning factor. Otherwise, when you just don't do anything, your body does this. Hey, I will break down and start to shut down and get you towards death a little quicker. That's true if you're going to do that. If you become sedentary, your body goes into a breakdown mode of let's start the process of decay is what I call it. You're not using it. We might as well, we don't need this extra anything. Let's see, thyroid. Everybody's got a thyroid problem now. No, they don't. They come to me, I change that like that. Get them moving, get them eating better, simple stuff. All of a sudden, oh, the thyroid's normal. And they were getting ready to get put on Synthroid, which will wreck the one thing they did have going for them that I could have helped out with. Now, don't get me wrong, there's people with thyroid issues, but I will tell you, 8 out of 10 times, they don't have one. When a 13-year-old is sent to me, oh, we're going to put her on Synthroid. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Does she have medical problems? No. I said, she ain't got she's 13. Unless she has something hyperthyroid. No, she don't have any of that. Come on, man. The kid's overweight, get her moving, exercising, her thyroid, your body just is going to adjust to whatever you do to it. However you want to play this game. It's going to adapt to what you do to it. Me, I'm in this for the long haul. I want to be around for a long time. That's motivation for me. So, okay. Let's move into today's lesson. I talked about this a little bit this week on a video, but I want to dive in with you guys on a cool exercise. So get a clean sheet of paper. As you know, if you've been with me a while, hallelujah, I know that you haven't been with me a while, but I always do things that are counterintuitive to the way you think, which makes it freaking kind of tick you off. It makes you like, that's hard to think like that because no one wants to think like that. So this is one of those exercises. I'm going to simply ask you a question. You're not allowed to ask me, well, what do you mean? Well, what do you mean? How do you want me to answer? You know how I am about that. I will not give you suggestions on seed plant. I want you to think about how you feel about the question. And I want you to write for 3 solid minutes. I want you just to write how you feel. And I don't want you to pick your pen. I don't want to see any of this. If you get to a pause, write blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Then the thought comes back. That's how the subconscious works. When you stop and start critical thinking, you go into a conscious, logical thinking, rationalizing mode. There's nothing rational or logically thinking about weight loss. It's an emotional thing. With me? All right. So for the next 3 minutes, maybe 5, I'll see what I think about this. I want you to write down this. Here's what I'm going to say. You really do not want this to be easy. You really do not want this process of losing weight and keeping it off to be easy. You do not want this to be easy. You really don't. I'm telling you this. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. You don't want this to be easy. You really don't. And I want you to write down why. You probably never thought about it this way. You probably have said, I wish this was easier. I wish there was an easier way. Why is this so hard? I want you to, whatever comes to mind, and I better see you actually involved in this, not like, I want you to do this. It's going to change your mindset a little bit here. For 3 minutes, I'm going to put my clock in. You really do not want this to be easy, Sherelle, Cindy, Sandra, Jamie, everybody. You really don't want this to be easy. You really don't. And now I want you to write down why you don't want it to be easy. Go. Why do you not want this to be easy? Jamie, why do you not want this to be easy? Annette, why do you not want this to be easy? Macy, why do you not want this to be easy? Michelle, why do you not want this to be easy? Why do we not want our struggle to be easy? my gosh, this is a struggle. Why do I not want it to be easy? Why do I not want making my struggle better to be easy? Why do I not want the process of losing weight and keeping it off to be easy? Why do you not want this to be easy? Because I'm telling you, you don't. You really don't want it to be easy. Keep writing. You go blank, write some just gibberish, keep writing. That pen should never leave the paper. You're just writing whatever comes to your mind. Why do I not want this to be easy? Let your mind flow. Let your mind and your thoughts come to the paper. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to have meaning. You're just writing whatever's coming to your mind. Why do you not want this to be easy? Why do I not want it to be easy to lose weight and keep it off? We're going to go another minute. Keep writing. We're going to go one more minute. Why do I not want this to be easy? Go ahead and finish your sentence if you've got one. Maybe write a note where you left off. If you want to write more after we're done, I encourage that. While you're in this process of thinking, it's always good. Anytime I go somewhere for myself, once we're done, I always step aside and continue with my thoughts because they don't just end. So go ahead and come to a stopping place there. This is totally optional. Only if you feel okay with it. Anybody want to read theirs? No, I don't. That's fine.
I'll read mine.
Okay, Amanda, read yours.
I'll jump right in. I wrote that it's simple, it's not easy. I don't want it to be easy because it validates it being a struggle for me. I don't want it to be easy, so when I do fail, I can say it was too hard. Weight loss is easy, keeping it off blows. Because you're having to learn and revisit the things that you're trying to avoid, which also is the reason why you turn to food. And if it was easy, then it won't change you.
True. Yeah, it's good. There's no right or wrong answers. It's how you feel. You know me, if you've been with me a while, so many people in your life in the world tell you you're stupid, that you're thinking this way, or I always have clients say that. Well, I'm stupid to think this, but I'm like, we got to get rid of that word first of all. It's how you feel, is how you feel right now, and then you work off of that. So let me give you real quickly here why you don't want to be easy, okay? So Number one thing I want to help you with here, this is a help you out here. Most of the time, if I say that, people say, are you kidding me? I want this to be easy. It's too hard. When we say it's too hard, we freeze, paralysis. That's where most people start. This is just hard. There's not enough variety in that food. That's too hard of workouts. It's just hard. Paralysis stops right there. We stop and we're like, too hard. After too hard has been said enough, it becomes to, I don't really want to do this because it's too hard. I don't really want to do this. You're still doing it, the program, but I don't want to do it anymore. It's too hard. Eventually, I don't want to do this leads to, I'm not going to do it. I quit. So we went from it's hard and stopped to, I don't like doing this because it's hard, to eventually, I'm not doing it anymore. It's too hard. So then you quit. You go 3 months, 6 months, eating like crap, just like whatever. I'm always going to be fat, all the things I've heard. Then you say, well, that new kind of program has a new juice. And they tell you to eat the plant. Now, I've never seen that plant before, so let me do that thing. That sounds cool. So we do something new. And then you go through the same process. So write this down. There's all kind of, if I said, hey, Cindy, what's hard? She'd name off 15 different things. Easy. It's a struggle. You can name off 10, 20 things of what's hard about your struggle. Quit overwhelming yourself with that and find this. I talked to a client the other day. I said, what's hard? Don't give me 30 different things. Give me one thing on the top of your mind that, this is hard. Pick your hard. What's the one thing you think is the hardest? And solve it and make it better. Utilize me or Google or whatever you want. That's what I'm here for. I'm your coach. But here's the deal. Find your hard, get some explanation, make it better. I didn't say try to make it go away because that's probably not going to happen. But here's what, look here, ladies. This is what allows you to do. Once you make it better, it slides the roadblock out of the way enough that you can pass through to what I call the next level. That's called progress. When I was saying that, I forgot who it was, who was conscious that she wasn't getting to her meals, that allowed a roadblock to move and her move forward one level. That right there was a hard, just getting the meals. Now she's conscious about it. Mission accomplished. It's better. Just get rid of it. Move forward. Find the one thing that you think is hard. Get some explanation on it, kind of like these things I did today. Then go, what now is hard? Find the next one. Quit looking at all the things that are so hard, and then you quit. It's because your struggle is always going to have a hard to it. So that's the first thing. Find your hard so you can keep moving forward. Next thing is, how do I frame this up? I'll use the word adversity because I used in my video today. Hard to me is another word for adversity. Okay. Once you go overcome and make it better, the adversity, and you keep moving forward, here's what happens. I will use Annette. Annette started with me way back when, right out of the gate. I don't trust you. I'm skeptical of you, but you're a last ditch effort. Okay. And I remember saying, they don't offend you? Oh, I expect you to be that way. You've been bombarded with everything in the world and have been told every lie in the world and failed everything. I get it. You do have to jump out the cliff and give me a shot here, but I know what I can do with you. So here's the deal. Annette has had hard, and I won't reveal that stuff because she didn't give me permission, things she's quit doing that's been lifelong. Move forward. Here's my point. Now we're way down the road here. Annette can look, and I just did this with her the other day. I said, we're going to stop today, and I want you to look at all the hard that you made better to get to where you are today. That has meaning. She feels accomplished. She feels like, yeah, she has an emotional connection to what she did because it was hard. I'm not talking debilitating hard. I'm talking about hard where people stop and they look at it as a negative. And I want you to turn your mind around. I don't care what you need to do, write it down, whatever. Like, I don't want this to be easy, because once you get here, you're like, that has an emotional connection. She's learned about herself, self-discovery. I've never told him that what to do. I've suggested avenues and she kind of went her path and go, oh, okay, that works for me. Great. We'll go with that. Who knew? But she's here now and she can look and go, yeah, that has a meaning of where I am today with my body and my mind and my heart. So let me tell you another person I just talked to. Person comes to me, taking Monjera, lost 60 pounds, maybe it's 56 pounds. And I'm like, how do you feel about that? What do you mean? Well, you did that like in 4 weeks. I mean, I'm just curious before we go any further. How do you feel about that? How do I feel about what? How do you feel about the weight you just lost? I don't know. I stuck a needle in my stomach and I lost 60 pounds. That's where it ends. Are you seeing this? That's an extreme example, but it's real. She couldn't even tell me what. I stuck a needle in my, here I am. She doesn't have an emotional connection to how she got there. She did this. It will not last. It will fall apart. She's with me now. I'm saying that will fall apart because there's no connection there. Humans have to have a connection to something that they have overcome. That's what gives it freaking meaning. I'm sorry, I get wound up and I get ready to start cussing. It's what gives it meaning. Holy shit, man. How many of you raised kids that have beat you to the ground and tested you and you just want to like that? But man, do you not look at that kid? I know they do bad and good like that. Don't you look like, man, yeah, that's my freaking kid. Whatever. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It was hard. It wasn't there ain't a damn thing easy about raising freaking kids. 3 girls especially. Right? Try to step out of your hard and look at your other hards and think about how you have a connection to what you did. Now I know some people say, oh, anything worth accomplishing takes grit. But I'm not telling you to put your face to the grinder and freaking kill yourself hard. That's not what I'm saying. It's a struggle. You're sensitive to it. It has hard. But if you'll start kind of having some fun with it, I'm telling you, man, I had to do this with my anxiety. I went 8 months in a hell nightmare because all I focused on was, this is so hard. It's never going to end. All I did was stop with what I didn't like about it. And I didn't like how I felt. It put me in my bed. It debilitated me. It stopped me from living life. I couldn't talk to my family. I was there until I switched and did my own advice and said, okay, what's the first thing that's hard? Let's work with that. Let's seek some help on how to understand it and move forward. I started turning it into a game. And if you heard me before, my anxiety is my best friend now. It's that friend that you love that gets on your last freaking nerve. You just like, shut up. I love you, but oh. That's what your struggle is. It's your best friend. Okay? So the hard is actually fun if you turn it into a game. And guess what? When you switch to the game, you never stop playing it. It's like, becomes like, let me see here. What's my next hard here? It becomes interesting. How do I solve that? Make it better. Let me ask Travis. I wonder about that. How do you really lose weight? Why am I only losing 4 pounds? Why is it, yeah, move past that. Now you don't think about that anymore. You understand, makes sense. Next. So the adversity, I don't like that word. It gives it meaning. You with me? You don't want to take a diet pill. You don't want to take not eating and me say, how do you feel about that 60 pounds you lost? What do you mean about? What are you talking about? I go to Annette. How do you feel about that weight you lost and you're hiking trails now like that? Oh man, feels amazing. I mean, I tell you, I went through some stuff there. We went through some ups and downs, and man, I thought I was, one point I was like, I don't know if I can keep going, but then I got that out of the way, and yeah, she has a story to tell, and it's about her. And you don't think that ain't built self-esteem and confidence into that? Holy shit. I've seen this woman change from beat down to freaking confident woman. Over a period of time, I'm not going to fluff it. It's not like it just happened in 10 weeks or like that. It's been a while, but I'm just saying, you don't want it to be easy. You really don't. So good stuff. Yeah. All right. Hey, you go have an amazing Saturday out there. Enjoy yourself, and we'll talk when we talk. hallelujah. I'll zoom off here and right onto a Zoom call with you. Right. See you, ladies.